1, 2, 1, 2.
The basic idea of the music and the compositions of Christian X variations was to somehow have a band that had instruments from both the classical world and the jazz world. At the same time, I wanted to expand my collaboration with saxophonist Dick Oates. We have been working together since 2005. And I wanted to expand in going from, we have been a duo so far and has toured Europe as a duo. And now it was interesting to me to sort of just expand this into a larger ensemble. And that became like an ensemble with classical instruments and jazz instruments. I found that would be a real challenge for me, and that was what interested me, was this particular challenge. So I started looking for a classical woodwind quintet, and I found, I think, to me, the perfect woodwind quintet in Kieran Winds from Sønderborg, Denmark, both from the way they play, the attitude towards working with jazz musicians, but also the fact that they have 4 different nationalities represented in their orchestra. Selecting musicians for the set, it's very important for me to have versatile musicians who can go in any direction and are open to actually going in any direction. And you'll hear, if you hear the record from beginning to end, you'll hear several diverse influences, and you sort of have to know just a little bit about what these influences are in order to interpret the music in the right way. And so that's something I really consider when I find the musicians for my recordings. Just to give a quick example, whenever Kieran Wind has solo sections in the different parts that they're playing, they could play a part inspired by Samuel Barber and his compositions for woodwind quintet, and so they have to somehow relate to this. Where are things coming from? How are they put together? And how do we, in this case Kieran Wind, put our own voice into this? I had a jazz quartet in mind that also had 3 different nationalities. So it was, to me, it became a very international ensemble, and that's important to me because I compose in a very Danish sound. I certainly feel my roots while I'm composing, but I like the idea of having people from all over the world sort of interpret the music I have composed, and it creates a special sound that you can't really find anywhere else. It's not really attached to any geographic context. So by this, it's sort of the music frees itself from any tradition connotations, and it makes sort of the music becomes a thing in itself and becomes sort of timeless, and that's what I'm looking for in my projects, and I'm always looking for this. This is part of who I am as a musician and composer. So working together with saxophonist Dick Oates, it's like we met at Manhattan School while I was a student there. He was a soloist with the Manhattan School of Music Jazz Orchestra, and it was like we immediately felt we had some kind of connection. That led me to later on calling Oates for our first duo album, Storytelling. And while recording this album in New York, we sort of just experienced this. That we were sharing the same interest in melodies and particular harmonic structures, harmonic coming from certain classical periods, the Romantic period, and also American minimalism. There's something about these classical periods that are very melodic, and the harmonic structure is very romantic. And we both enjoy to play over this, to improvise over these chords. And in my compositions, I've been very inspired by these chord or harmonic structures, and that is sort of the bond that ties me and Oates together. Is this enjoyment of expressing this.